Sorry for the little delay, guys. Had some issues trying to get this up. But welcome back then, guys, to this live stream. It's now time for the final bit of action of today. And we're here for race 1 of IFMC GP3. And if you didn't see what happened yesterday in qualifying, it was a very interesting qualifying session. But it saw Lucas Di Grassi take pole position for the first time since last season. An American engineer, his first ever pole position, with Jack Aitken in second and Josef Newgarden, the championship leader, in third. He'll be looking to take advantage of the fact that Ferdinand Habsburg is down in last place due to the fact that he has a qualifying ban for causing an accident with him and I think it was Aitken as well. That was the other one. So yeah, so as you can see, we've got 18 laps of action for race 1, and hopefully it should be a very good race. So before we start then, guys, let's mute this, turn this up a little, and let's have a look at the grid for race 1 here at Budapest. Here we go then. So on pole position is Lucas Di Grassi with Jack Aitken in second. Josef Newgarden lines up in third with Daniil Kvyat in fourth. Robert Kubica starts in fifth with Sébastien Buemi in sixth position. Alexander Rossi starts in 7th with Will Power in 8th position. 9th on the grid is Marco Andretti in the Auto Jamaica car. Alongside him is Michael Alation in 10th. Nick Heidfeld will start 11th in the Kennystar Motorsport car. That's Daniil who starts in 12th. 13th goes to Antonio Fuoco. 14th for Felipe Nasr. And then we go on to row 8. It's 15th for Antoine Bear in the KR Racing car. Alongside him is Santino Ferrucci in 16th. Jensen Button back on his return, only managed 17th on the grid. Eero Vainio starts 18th. Kyle Kaiser is 19th with Nico Kari in 20th. And on the back row of the grid, it's Anthony Davidson, and due to his qualifying ban, championship contender Ferdinand Habsburg is 22nd and last. And that is the grid for race 1 here at Budapest. So there is the grid then, guys, for race number 1 and the weather. So look, it is bright and sunny. So leave your predictions, but without further ado, let's get to race 1. So, here we are then on the grid then. As you can see, it is Di Grassi on the right, Aitken on the left. Who's going to get the lead into turn 1 as we wait for the 5 red lights to go off to signify the start of the race 1 here at Budapest. 2 lights are on, 3 lights are on, 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on. And it is going for race 1 here at Budapest. It's a good start for the front 2 again. Looks like Di Grassi hasn't got the best start there. Newgarden getting a good start, trying to get alongside Aitken into turn 1. Keep an eye on Kvyat. He's had a good start. As I go down towards turn 1, will Kvyat try and out-drag everybody into the first corner now. Then we go. Has Kvyat got the lead from Di Grassi? Di Grassi trying to stick with him, but Kvyat does something similar to Lynn and takes the lead for the race. Lynn leads as Buemi up to 4th, trying to look to the inside of Aitken. Into the left-hander. Has he got the move stuck? And yes, he has. Up to 3rd goes Sébastien Buemi. A great start from Kvyat, who takes the lead as I go down through the right-hander now for the first time today. Not a good start from the championship leader. He's down to 5th place. At the start of the race, he's got Kubica hounding in behind. As everybody got through the first few corners okay. It does appear like Habsburg still bringing up the rear, and as you can see, Newgarden having to fend off from Kubica, who probably had a little look at him into that left-hander, but it's Kvyat who leads the race, and Di Grassi, Buemi, Aitken, Newgarden, Kubica, Rossi, and Alation at the moment. They'll go up towards the chicane. Everybody decided to take it single file into that chicane now then. As they go through these section of corners now, then some people taking it wide and others. Meantime, a little bit of argy-bargy going on, but nothing that major there. Kari had a little look at Button, but Button managed to fend him off. A little bit of contact between Ferrucci and Kari there, but luckily the major enters as Kvyat's now got quite a lead in front. As meantime, there's a train falling behind Di Grassi as they battle it out for second place. Buemi in the slipstream. Di Grassi really try and move down the inside into this right-hander. He's going to try and make the move stick. He's down the inside of Di Grassi and he makes the move stick. That's the first overtake we've seen down there. And up into second place goes Sébastien Buemi. And the Swiss driver now then up to P2. As a result, now Aitken trying to have a look at him if he can now then as I come up towards the final turn on the track. Well, on the final turn we go. So at the end of lap 1 of 18 then, here for race 1, it's Kvyat who leads. Buemi 2nd, Di Grassi 3rd, Aitken 4th, Newgarden 5th, Rossi up to 6th place, passing Kubica 7th, Andretti running out the points in there because he's past Alation. And going down towards turn 1, Aitken looks to the inside of Di Grassi. Will he get the podium place of the Brazilian? He'll try and break a little bit later. Kvyat saying an early fastest lap before I heard a little lock up there from Aitken, but he gets the move done and up into 3rd place goes Jack Aitken. There's a spin. That's what I heard. There's a spin there for Robert Kubica. Looks like Andretti's tagged him down into turn 1, and there's a bit of a traffic jam forming down into turn 1 there then. So let's have a look and see what happens. So Andretti gets a rolling Kubica. Danny to turn 1 now, then he goes to the inside to have a look. He initially looks to the inside there. Andretti tries to have another look into the corner. No, in fact, it was a big ambitious move from Elation, who just goes for a punt there. Dives it down the inside of Andretti. And, well, who causes the contact as a result. It looked like he just couldn't stop the car in time. He was locking up the brakes and just couldn't stop careering into the side of Kubica. So that incident will have to be investigated after the race. Let's have a look. So he passes Andretti, and then, no, in fact, it looked like he got clipped, in fact, by Will Power. I do apologise. It looks like Power might have clipped him and caused the incident himself. And, well, he went for a spin himself down at turn 1. Let's have a look. So he gets a run on Elation as they come down towards turn 1. Let's see. So Elation sees that battle going on in front, tries to get in the slitching, and Andretti looks to the inside, and then next thing you know, he just plows into the back of Elation, which causes him to pile into the side of Kubica. And well, that was the end of that, really. So that incident will have to be investigated after the race. And well, carnage there then as Kubica, struggling to get the car moving, having to find a gap in the traffic as a result, as he's now been turned around as he gets the car going again. But that incident will be investigated after the race. Meantime, Kvyat still in the way as Aitken, as mentioned, has got up to 3rd place now, as you can see. On to the right camera, as you can see, still some more defending though. Aitken can still feel the pressure of Grassi. At the same time, Grassi was having to defend from Josef Newgarden into that left-hander there then. And it's brought Rossi now close into this scrap. So, whilst one of them is holding up the train at the front, the other one is bringing up the rear of the train at this stage, as Elation tries to close up to that battle himself. As they now go through into the S's now then. Through the left and then through the right hander we will go now then. Look how close Newgarden is getting now to Grassi as Aitken starts to pull a gap now to the pole sitter, as they now just feed their way around the right hander now then on the track up towards the next corner of the track. Then Newgarden looks to the inside. Will he get the move done? Down the inside he goes. He dives it down the inside. Has he got the place? And yes, he has. Up to 4th place goes Josef Newgarden in the Dacia Eldorado. Now Grassi in the clutches of Alexander Rossi's Willows racing car as they feed their way round this left hander now then. And here is Kvyat now. Then Kubica trying to make his way up through the field. Meantime, Habsburg having a go at Kaiser, but Kaiser saying no to that. Habsburg not getting the places as much as he would want to at this stage. Buemi though trying to close up onto race leader Kvyat if he can, as they go down the pit straight now then towards turn 1. In fact, Buemi sets the fastest lap of the race now then, and I'll be interested to see what the gap is like. But meantime, Rossi will have to have a look at that in a little bit now, because Rossi looking to the inside of Grassi. Will he get the move done? No, just doesn't have enough momentum and stays behind him for now. The gap between Kvyat and Buemi is down to 1.8 seconds as Newgarden starts to close in onto Aitken for P3 in the race now then, as they negotiate round the left-hander now then on the track. As meantime Rossi tries to get the move done on Grassi. Abt has now been brought into the points as a result of all that contact that happened down at the hairpin. So now Abt finds himself into the points. So far it looks like double points could be on the cards for American Engineering. Whether that will be 5th though, I don't know, because as you saw there, Grassi again going defensive from Rossi into that turn 5 there. So now they go around the right-hander now then on the track up towards the chicane. Will Rossi try to get a run on Grassi into the chicane? He's going to remain single file this time by and stay behind him at this point now then, as they come off the chicane up towards the S's we will go now then. And so through the S's now then we go on the track. Rossi trying to pile the pressure on Grassi as much as possible now then, as now they go through the left-hander now then, as they go cruising around that right-hander now then. A lot of curb being used on the outside. Will Rossi try and get a run on him down into this right-hander? He's going to look to the inside. Will he get the move done? Breaks out a little bit later. Has he got the place? And yes, he has. Rossi up into 5th place, getting the move done on Grassi. And now Newgarden finding himself in a Willows racing sandwich. And now Grassi might put himself under pressure from Michael Elation and Daniil Abt, who's slowly starting to close up onto the Russian himself. And, well, that's not really as far as they're concerned. What's the gap this time around between Kvyat and Buemi as they cross the line now? They just start lap 4 of 18, 15 laps to go here for race 1 as they come down towards turn 1. The gap between the pair of them now then, let's have a look. He's down to 1.7 seconds, so Buemi only took a 10th out of Kvyat's lead that time by, so not getting as much as we would have anticipated. Newgarden still not within slipstream range of Aitken at this stage. Meantime, Grassi still sticking with Rossi at this stage, not giving up on 5th place from the American now then. Rossi goes defensive towards turn 3. Will Grassi try and do a switch back? No. Rossi covers him off into that left-hander to keep on the 5th place for the moment in this race as they now go down the hill through the right-hander now then on the track. So now we ride on board with Alexander Rossi as he will now approach the left-hander. Now they're flicking the car in through the corner as Grassi tries to get hold of Rossi in front of him now then at this stage as they now fling the car around the right-hander now then using a lot of curb in towards the chicane through the right and left-hander and through towards the left-hander we go now then as we will approach the next right-hander. And now as you can see Grassi trying to pile the pressure on Rossi now then, and as you can see Elation finding himself in an American engineering sandwich at the moment with Grassi in front and out behind. Rossi still going defensive because Grassi still trying to regain 5th if he can from him now then as they come off the corner now then up towards the second to last corner we will go. And they just feed their way around the corner now then. Newgarden still not within slipstream range of Jack Aitken in front as they round the last corner on the track. And down the pit straight we go. Meantime now then will Grassi retake 5th from Alexander Rossi down the pit straight now then. He's going to try and tuck up into the American slipstream now then. And let's see now then. He's in the slipstream. Will he try to move down into turn 1? Rossi goes defensive. Will Grassi flick it to the inside? Which he does do. Danny inside into turn 1. Will Grassi get the move done? Down to turn 1, will he retake 5th from Rossi? Rossi's still going to stick with him as they go side by side through turn 2 and then up towards turn 3. Rossi just ahead at this point. Will Grassi trying to hang it around the outside through turn 3? He's braking a little bit later. They're still side by side through turn 3 now. This is close stuff between Grassi and Rossi. So go down the hill through turn 4 now then. And I think, no, they're still side by side, but Rossi just has the edge and holds on to 5th from Grassi. But he's brought Elation and Abt and maybe even Andretti now closer to that scrap as they come around the left-hander now then on the track. And so now in towards that right-hander we go as we've got a 4-car scrap now merging for 5th place here in here at race 1 as now they come up now then towards the right-left chicane. Rossi can feel the pressure from Grassi, Elation and Abt behind him, and maybe soon Andretti who's slowly starting to close to that scrap, so we could have a 5-car scrap for 5th place very soon at this stage. Meantime, Buemi still trying to close up onto Kvyat, but it looks like Aitken and Newgarden are slowly starting to close back in onto the Swiss now then, so we could even have a 4-way scrap for the lead at this stage, so we could be in for a very tasty treat here for race 1 here at Budapest as Buemi now then hooks the car around the left-hander as he tries to gain time onto Kvyat in front now then as they round the final corner and onto the pit straight now then. And let's see the gap between him and Kvyat this time by. So meantime, what's the overtakes being done down there? Not at this stage. Bit of a gap between 5th and 6th to 7th and 8th at the moment. As meantime, Newgarden now looking to the inside of Aitken. Will he get the move done? But Aitken closes the door into turn 1 to keep all the 3rd places. Meantime, Rossi goes defensive. Grassi again flicking it back down the inside into turn 1. Has he got the move this time by? No, again, Rossi covers him off as Abt looks to the inside of Elation. But Elation shuts the door into turn 1. Andretti not able to capitalise and get close to that scrapped. Heidfeld trying to get close as well as there's some battling going on at the back as Fuoco defends from NASA to try and hold on to 13th place at the moment. Habsburg down the inside of Kaiser, but again Kaiser shutting the door on Habsburg, not letting it go. Will Power's got a loss of front wing and we're unable to see what happened, so whatever the case, Will Power has lost half of his front wing and is going to have to make a trip to the pits, and well, that's his race effectively ruined. So Power in to get a new front wing as a result, as Aitken's gone off at the right-hander, and well, that's that really. Grassi looks like he's also gone off. A few cars have gone off down at that left-hander, and there's your reason. Newgarden and Aitken have come to blows at that left-hander. The pair of them have made contact with each other down at that corner, and Aitken loses the podium as a result to Newgarden. And well, that's that really, and well, I'm going to have to look at it from the beginning again from Newgarden to see what ever happened there. But contact between Aitken and Newgarden there, and Newgarden has pushed Aitken off the track. Let's have a look, and it was a little bit of an ambitious move there from Newgarden, not to lie, so that will have to be investigated after the race, that incident between Newgarden and Aitken. And well, that's probably what Habsburg exactly needs, is everybody's now just clowning around behind Aitken now then, as now he's lost the podium, and now it's become a 5-way scrap, maybe now a 6-way scrap for 4th place as they go around the chicane as the 2 Willows racing cars lead that train. So very interesting stuff as they come around the S's now then, but that incident will have to be investigated for sure, as now it's left the top 2 with a big gap in front. At the moment, Power obviously in a little earlier to repair that front wing. In fact, he's still in the pits. It took him a while there, and luckily he won't be a lap down, but that was a long stop there to get the front wing changed for Will Power. As now we come up now then towards the final turn, and let's see what the gap will be like this time by between Kvyat and Buemi as they come out of the final turn then and onto the pit straight. And let's see now then as we have 12 laps to go here for race 1 here at Budapest, and the gap between the top 2 now then as they come down towards turn 1 is now, let's have a look, 1 second exactly. That's how the gap currently stands. Meantime, Rossi losing time to Aitken as a little bit more defending that, because App now looking to the inside of Elation. Will he get the place off him? And now again Elation shuts the door on him there into turn 1, and everybody pretty much struggling to find a way through on each other at this stage now then. Through towards turn 3, and through turn 3 and 4 we go. Aitken slowly closing back in now then onto Newgarden as he looks to try and reclaim 3rd from Newgarden there then, as they now go up the hill towards the left-hander. And so coming off the turn now then, and now out of the turn now then we go out of the right-hander. Meantime now then, looks like things start to separate themselves as Andretti now all over the backside of Apt for P8 now. Then will he try and get a run on him into the chicane? No, he's going to remain single file behind him into that chicane. Apt taking a wider line there as now Heidfeld has caught onto this battle, so another car joins in with this battle as they now go around the S's now then. And so that's that for him really. As unseen by the cameras, Habsburg's finally found a way through on Kaiser, so he gets up into 18th place, and now he comes up behind a train which is formed up by Antonio Fuoco's AYP. As a lot of cars start to form behind him at this stage. Meantime, Andretti down the inside of Daniil. Would he get the move done? And they had to jam on the brakes there just to avoid some contact. And oh, off the track, that's an engine failure for Sébastien Buemi. Buemi's got a water leak. The man who could have had a chance for victory has blown his chances, and Sébastien Buemi is out of the race, and we're down to 20 runners, I think. No, 21 runners, I do apologise. Buemi out of the race with a water leak, and now Kvyat has a huge lead out in front. And, well, Newgarden trying to close him down if he can to get the victory now then as they come down towards turn 1. Rossi goes defensive because Grassi still trying to pile the pressure. Meantime, Andretti having to defend again because Heidfeld's there. Hapt having to defend from Andretti as they come down through turn 1 now then on the track. And, well, that's that really. Aitken now then back on the podium as now Grassi looks to the inside into turn 3 now then, risking it for a chalky biscuit as around the outside action there goes Rossi as he holds on to 4 from Grassi. Elation brought closer now to that scrap. We've got a 3-car scrap for 7 starting to emerge as these two are stuck behind Daniil Apt's American engineering car as they will now come up towards the right-hander. On the track, here comes Daniil Kvyat, who just rounds the chicane now then on the track. Coming off the turn as he will now approach the S's. And around he will go now then on the track, as he uses a lot of curb on the outside there. Then is meantime, as you can see, Grassi trying to get hold of Rossi if he can. And, well, that's that really as far as they're concerned. And out of the S's we go. And Rossi looks like he's got a bit of a gap now in front of Grassi. So Grassi not even within slipstream range anymore of Alexander Rossi. And meantime now then Andretti trying to get the run on Daniil Apt down this straight. Will he try and get him into the right hander? Apt goes defensive. Power now sets the fastest lap, a 1:30.987. So Power holding on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. As out goes Habsburg. Ferdinand Habsburg is out of the race. The championship contender is out. What's happened to Habsburg? And there it is. It's a transmission problem for 2nd place in the championship. Ferdinand Habsburg. That will be great news for Dacia Dorado, as Ferdinand Habsburg is out with transmission problems, and we're down to 20 runners as a result. And, well, that might change things, but remember, Newgarden is under investigation for that collision with Aitken just a few laps ago. And, but so that could still change things, as now they come down the pit straight towards turn 1, as we're now on lap 9 of 18 now in this race. So 10 laps remaining here at Budapest. And, well, we're at the halfway stage of race 1. There's so much that's gone off in this race. It's meet time now. Andretti down the inside of Abt. Will he get the move done this time? Tries to find a gap down the inside. And contact's been made between Abt and Andretti. Andretti doesn't gain the place there. But it's now putting prey to Nick Heidfeld. And, well, contact there between Abt and Andretti. As a result, as they come around the left-hander, Hubert and Ferrucci now are starting to close up to this battle. And they look to try and get their piece of the pumpkin pie in this as well. As meantime, Kubica trying to make his way out for the field. He's up to 17th and now all over the backside of Kyle Kaiser for 16th. As they just make their way around the left-hander. Button down in 19th place for some odd reason. So Button all the way down the field. I can't remember if he had an issue earlier on in the race. Someone will have to remind me. But meantime, Heidfeld all over the backside of Andretti, looking to get the final points place off him now then as they come out the chicane now then up towards the S as we go. And around the S's now then, around the right-hander as now he uses a lot of curb on the outside as they go around these section of corners now then. Round the right-hander we go as they go down the straight towards the next right-hander. Will Heidfeld try and get a run on Andretti into the right-hander? He's not close enough to get a move on him this time by and stays behind the American for the moment. Maybe try and get him down the pit straight if he's lucky enough as they now come around the left-hander on the track. Meantime, here is Daniil Kvyat who's still leading the way. He's on lap 10 of 18, 9 laps to go here for race 1 as he continues to lead Newgarden by 4.4 seconds. That time around, Aitken trying to close back in onto Newgarden to try and grab second if he can as they come out of turn 1. And that's that really. Meantime now though, Heidfeld down the inside of Andretti. Would he get him into turn 1? Andretti breaks later and keeps hold of 8th place, shutting the door there on Nick Heidfeld. Ferrucci getting close to the rear end of Hubert as he looks to scrap it out for 10th place here at Budapest. So that's that really, as Kvyat now then rounds the right-hander as he continues to lead the way out in front of the moment. Here's Aitken still in third, trying to chase down Newgarden for 2nd place, and probably still fuming after the contact happened between those two. Into the chicane we go, and out the corner now then up towards the S's we will go now then on the track. And Aitken just flicking it in through these section of corners and getting a little bit of understeer through that second one there then, but able to correct it as he continues to try and push hard to gain onto Newgarden in front, the current championship leader. As meantime, Heidfeld still putting pressure on Andretti for P8 as they round the right-hander out on the track, using a lot of curb on the outside. In the slipstream then goes Heidfeld. Will he get the move done on Andretti? Andretti goes defensive. Heidfeld thought about a move but stays behind him for the moment. So for the moment, Andretti keeping on of 8th place here in race 1 as they now come around the left-hander on the track. And will Heidfeld try and get the move done on Marco Andretti as they will now come up towards the final turn. And through the final corner and onto the pit straight we will go. And Heidfeld now then trying to see if he can pull a pass on Marco Andretti. He's in the slipstream now then of the American. German will tuck up into his slipstream. He's going to look to the inside. Will Heidfeld get the move done this time by and get the final points place into turn 1? Down the inside again. Andretti decides to brake later. And Heidfeld just isn't able to respond to him at this stage. And, well, that's that really. Meantime, Newgarden slowly starting but closing in onto Daniil Kvyat for the lead of the race as they just feed their way around the left-hander. And Newgarden currently 2nd at the moment at this stage, up towards the chicane. Newgarden trying to get hold of him in this race as they round the S's now then on the track. Out the turn we go before approaching the final few corners, and Newgarden still trying to get hold of Kvyat by the end of the race in the Pennzoil Grand Prix car. And meantime, Power trying to close back up onto the rest of the pack, but he's too far away at this stage. Kubica still stuck behind Kaiser as these two continue to scrap it out for 16th place. And the two Suomis look like they're going to be entertaining each other, but at the same time they're starting to close up. It's now Daniil inside, goes Heidfeld on Andretti, and again Andretti covers him off around that right-hander to keep hold of 8th place. Andretti doing a good job to keep Heidfeld back defensively in this race, preventing the German from getting onto the final points place as they come out of the second to last corner up towards the final corner. Now then, they will go as Kvyat started lap 12 of 18, so we have 7 laps remaining here at Budapest for race 1 of IFMC GP3. As we go down the pit straight now, then will Heidfeld get the move done? He's in the slipstream now then of Andretti. He's going to look to the inside. Will Heidfeld pull this move off? Danny inside. Can he get the move this time by? Danny inside he goes. And again, Andretti just shuts the door on him there. Or more likely, just hanging it around the outside to keep hold of 8th place. Heidfeld probably getting frustrated at this point. He's now going to try and dive it Danny inside to turn 3. As a little bit of an attempt, Danny inside. Andretti saw him last minute, but Andretti keeps hold of 8th place as Hubert and Ferrucci now then start to get close to that battle. As unseen by the cameras, Nazar has passed Fuwako, so he's up into 12th place. As now Fuwako having to fend off from Vinio and Kars. Meantime, side-by-side action between Kubica and Kaiser, but Kaiser fends him off for 16th place at this stage of the race. So he keeps hold of the place for now. As meantime, Kvyat continuing to lead the way in the Pennzoil car as he rounds the right-hander down in on the track. As we go down towards the right-hander. And now Kvyat continuing to lead the way at this stage as he will now approach the second to last corner now. Then Kvyat continuing to lead the way. The second to last corner and up towards the final corner will go Daniil Kvyat around the final turn and onto the pit straight we will go. And Kvyat starts lap 13 of 18, so 6 laps remaining for the Russian as they now come down towards turn 1 on the track now then. As Heidfeld now then losing time now, there appears to Andretti. Andretti starting to pull a bit of a gap as Abt looks to get onto the gearbox of Mikhail Aleshin for 6th place. And Grassi continuing to lose time to Alexander Rossi as Aitken just doesn't have the pace to get hold of Newgarden in front. He'll be hoping that the investigation will overturn that if that is the case. So now through the flat out turn 4 we will go. And they'll now go up towards the left-hander. And around that left-hander then goes Will Power as he will come around the right-hander on the track. Out of the turn we will go as he uses quite a bit of curb on the outside up towards the chicane around the right and left-hander. And now in towards the S's we will go. And so through the S's now then, as we will now approach these next section of corners we will go. As we will approach the right-hander. And let's see now then. As through the right-hander goes Newgarden as he tries to hunt down Kvyat in front of him at this stage. Kvyat though still keeping the gap consistent between each other at the moment as they go around the final turn. As Kvyat now starts lap 14 of 18, so 5 laps remaining here at Budapest. So 5 laps to go for race leader Daniil Kvyat. What's the gap between him and Newgarden anyway? As they go down towards turn 1, the gap between the top 2 is now, let's have a look as they made their way down towards turn 1, the gap being 2.1 seconds. That's how it looks at this stage as they come out of turn 1. As meantime, as you can see there, Heidfeld just losing time to Andretti at this stage. Meantime, Ferrucci though, all over the backside of Antoine Hubert. Will he try and get the move done into turn 1? He's going to try and dive it Danny inside into the Frenchman. Will he get the move done into turn 1? No, he can't. Hubert shuts the door and into turn 1 to keep hold of 10th place. That time by Heidfeld. Looks like he's close back up now to Andretti because Andretti's going defensive into turn 3. So it looks like their battle has resumed, it seems, as they go around turn 4. And now up towards turn 5 we will go. Heidfeld trying to put pressure on Andretti. He's going to try and dive it Danny inside into this corner. This is going to be a risky move. But Andretti just able to fend him off. They came so close to contact, but they didn't. Andretti keeping hold of 8th place as Hubert and Ferrucci now onto the back of that battle themselves. As it's now become a 4-way scrap for the final points place. Up towards the chicane we will go now then. Heidfeld trying everything he can to get hold of Andretti in this race now then, as they make their way around the S's. Through the S's now then we go. And using quite a lot of curb onto the outside there then, as he rounds the left-hander through towards the right-hander. On the track then goes Nick Heidfeld. And as you can see, Heidfeld going around the final few turns as he still tries to pile the pressure on Andretti if he can, as they round that left-hander. 4 laps remaining then for Daniil Kvyat as he started lap 15 of 18, but Newgarden's getting close to the backside of him now then with 4 laps to go as they now go around turn 1. The gap down to 1.3 seconds, so 8 tenths was taken out that time around, and Kvyat could come under immense pressure by the end of the lap. And so now through turn number 3 and 4 we will go on the track, as now we go now then towards the quick left-hander, and Newgarden continuing to try and close up onto Kvyat in front as he rounds that right-hander up towards the chicane. And so through the chicane now then we go, and meantime Newgarden still in second place at this stage. Jack Aitken, here he is in third place at the moment as he goes around the S's, and so Aitken currently third at the moment in this race. Heidfeld still unable to find a way through on Andretti. He's starting to fall back again from the Americans as we ride on board with another American, this time from Santino Ferrucci, the man who won race 2 last weekend at Germany, but he's not really on the pace this time by. He's all over the backside of Antoine Hubert for P10, but struggling to find a way through this time by. Around the right hander we go, coming off the turn as they now come up now then towards the final few corners on the track now. Then as you can see, Hubert going defensive. You can definitely feel the pressure from Santino Ferrucci. What's the gap between Newgarden and Kvyat this time by with 3 laps to go as they come down towards turn 1. The gap now, let's have a look, down to turn 1 is 1.1 seconds. So Newgarden only gained 2 tenths on Kvyat there that time. So that's that. Down the hill we go now then as Abt starts to lose more time to Elation in front, so it looks like Elation might stay in an American engineering sandwich by the end of the race. As meantime now Ferrucci down the inside of Hubert, but Hubert shutting the door on him there, and to keep on a 10th place for the time being as they make their way round turn 1 on the track now. Then Ferrucci using a lot of curve on the outside there then as they'll now come down towards turn 3, and as you can see Ferrucci pushing hard as he locks up the brakes into turn 3. And just trying everything he can to find a way through on Antoine Hubert as they make their way around turn 4 now then on the track. Still trying everything he can to get the place off the Frenchman now then as they come up now then towards the quick left-hander. Hubert goes defensive in case Ferrucci tries to pop a pass down towards that left-hander as they flick the car around the right-hander now then on the track now then. Ferrucci doing whatever he can to get hold of Hubert for 10th place here at Budapest. Meantime, Newgarden still getting close to the backside of Kvyat, but will he even have enough time to try and get him as they now come up towards the left-hander on the track, and out of the corner we go before approaching the final turn. As Aitken looking in the wings but still far back as Kvyat now then starts the penultimate lap of the race. He started lap 17 of 18 here at Budapest, so Kvyat on his penultimate lap as he looks to try and get his first ever IFMC GP3 victory. What's the gap between him and championship leader Newgarden as they come down towards turn 1? The gap between them is 1 second, so only a 10th there Newgarden took out of him on that lap, as now he comes down towards the left-hander. Aitken still looking good for a podium in 3rd place, and a good amount of points at the moment coming the way for Willows Racing at this stage, as at the moment it looks like they'll be leaping back in front of Kennystar Motorsport in the team's championship to get back up into 3rd place. So that'll be that then really for them, as Newgarden tries to get hold of Kvyat by the end of the race as the pair then flick around the right-hander now then on the track. And now up towards the chicane we go, and Kvyat taking a wider line, and looked like Newgarden took an inner line into that chicane as now they go around the S's now then on the track. as they use all the curb on the outside. Newgarden needs to really try and find some time somewhere, otherwise Kvyat's going to get the victory, and so far he's still not within slipstream range of the Pennzoil car. He looks closer than that lap than previously, but still not within the slipstream range that he needs to try and pull a pass on him now then. But meantime, through the second to last corner then goes Daniil Kvyat, as he comes off the second to last corner and up towards the final corner he will go. And Daniil Kvyat, once he rounds the final corner, is about to start his final lap here at Budapest. It's been a brilliant race for Daniil Kvyat as far as he's concerned. He started in 4th place, was able to get a jump on the top 3, was able to grab the lead. He led the race, dominated the race for a while, and so far he's been put under pressure by Josef Newgarden towards the end of the race. And if he could just hold him on, he's looking good to get his first ever IFMC GP3 victory. But as mentioned, if he could just hold on to Newgarden by the end of the race. Kvyat so far looking good to get his first ever IFMC GP3 victory as he comes around turns 3 and 4 on the track now then. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Andretti now pulling away from Heidfeld, so he's looking good to get the final points place. As unseen by the cameras, Ferrucci finally got the move done on Hubert. So up into 10th place goes Santina Ferrucci. He finally got the move done on Hubert and now finds himself into the top 10. As meantime, Kubica is 15th. He passed Kari and Kaiser a little earlier on, so he's finally made progress, but that's probably where he's going to end up by the end of the race. Button now then looking to the inside of Anthony Davidson, his fellow compatriot, but Davidson covers him off and keeps hold of 18th place from him at the moment. Power just looking likely to just hold on to 20th, but he is holding on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, albeit under investigation for that collision that he caused with Kubica and an elation on lap 2. So that's pretty much that really. Newgarden still not within slipstream range of Kvyat, and I think Kvyat will just do enough to hold on to Newgarden in this race as they come around the final few corners for the last time today. Up towards the second to last corner will go the Russian. He has done a brilliant job. He's withstanded the pressure from the championship leader as they come out of the second to last corner. Up towards the final corner goes Daniil Kvyat, and after an amazing race for the Russian, he has done a superlative job out of the final corner, and it is going to be Daniil Kvyat who wins race 1 here at Budapest. Congratulations to him and the Pennzoil Grand Prix team. He takes his first ever IFMC GP3 victory after being shoved on the sidelines by EMR last season. Kvyat takes the victory here in GP3. Newgarden for now in second due to his investigation. Aitken in third. Rossi fourth. Grassi fifth. Elation will cross the line in 6th position. Apt is going to cross the line 7th. Andretti rounds out the points in 8th, which unless Newgarden gets penalised, he will be on pole position for race 2 tomorrow. Heidfeld will cross the line in 9th. Ferrucci in 10th. Hubert 11th. Nazar 12th. Fuoco is going to cross the line in 13th position. It's going to be 14th for Eero Vainio, 15th for Robert Kubica, 16th for Nico Kari, 17th for Kyle Kaiser. Davidson will just hold on for 18th ahead of Button, who will only cross the line in 19th, and Power will cross the line in 20th, as it looks like he's held on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, so he will grab that point, but he is still under investigation for that collision with Kubica and Elation on lap 2. So that's that really, as they come around the final corner, and he will cross the line in 20th and last, with the 2 retirements of course being Buemi and Habsburg. So there you have it then guys. In the end, Daniil Kvyat is the winner here at Budapest, taking his first ever IFMC GP3 victory, and wow, a fully deserved victory for the Russian. So there you have it then guys. After all of that, here is the results of race 1 here at Budapest. Daniil Kvyat wins the race with Josef Newgarden for now in second, with Jack Aitken third, Alexander Rossi fourth, Lucas Di Grassi fifth, Michael Elation in sixth, Daniel Apt 7th, with Marco Andretti in 8th, Nick Heidfeld 9th, Santina Ferrucci 10th, Anthony Bear in 11th, with Felipe Nasr 12th, Antonio Fuoco 13th, with Eero Vainio in 14th. And if we scroll down the rest of the field, it is Robert Kubica 15th, Nico Kari in 16th, Kyle Kaiser in 17th, with Anthony Davidson in 18th, Jenson Button in 19th, with Will Power, the last of the finishes, in 20th. The 2 retirements, of course, were Ferdinand Habsburg and Sébastien Buemi. They were the retirements. So let's see who set the fastest lap of the race then, who's going away with the bonus point. I believe it was Will Power, and it is Will Power with a 1:30.987. So despite finishing last, he'll still get the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race, despite being under investigation. He was 3 tenths quicker than Sébastien Buemi in the end. So there you have it then guys, that has been it for IFMC GP3 today. They'll be back tomorrow for race 2 at 1 PM BST. And that is it for today's live stream. I hope you've enjoyed it. It has been a very interesting day of racing, and hopefully we'll be in for some exciting racing tomorrow. The podium for GP3 is coming your way just after this. But until then, guys, that has been it. I hope you've enjoyed it. We will see you then, guys, tomorrow at 1 PM BST for race 2 of IFMC GP3, the sprint race for IFMC GP2, and the 70-lap Hungarian Grand Prix. Hopefully, we'll be in for some classics around this new layout of the Hungaroring for IFMC. But until then, guys, that has been it. I hope you've enjoyed it. So thank you very much for watching. I'm in JWF1, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the last bit of action here at Budapest. Until then, take care and enjoy the GP3 podium.